Brodys have you with us here this morning. Greetings from the smoke shack. Hello, Jack. This is the bro, the macho bro, your host, Brody. Want to give a shout out to you, Dubba Dubba Do Time. It's Friday. We're getting set to lie down that dinosaur's tail. Glad you could make it here. Everybody who's here today on the channel, thanks for tuning in. We're gonna have ourselves a little sip of coffee here this morning. Get ready to do the show for you, folks. Thanks again. Let's get that camera up and rolling. Morning, folks. It's your host, Brody, happily here to say it's the 13th. Nobody cares about this particular day. This is the one that gets you looking for black cats. Don't walk under any ladders, broken mirrors, anything like that. It's Friday the 13th. How you folks doing today? It's the last day of the week, and we are getting set to slide down that dinosaur's tail. I thank you folks for joining me. I'm just going to take a look at the intranet to see if there's anything going on over at the stock desk that I can share with you folks here today. I think it's kind of interesting. All are welcome here. Let's just take a little minute for ourselves. What's the best advice I can give you for Friday the 13th? Well, for those who believe the Friday the 13th is unlucky, pretend it's like any other day in the last 2 years. I mean, if you want to know what the scariest thing is on Friday the 13th, just check your bank account. Uh, all right. Let's take a look here. We're going to maybe review a couple of Magic the Gathering cards. Have a little sip of coffee. Morning, Twiddler. How you doing today? Hey. How you doing today, Mister Twiddler? It's Friday the 13th. Thought I'd try to sneak up on you guys there. Surprise, surprise. How are you guys doing here today? It's Brody. Happy to have you here. Ah. Morning, Michael Superbacker. Twiddler is in the place. How you folks doing here this morning? It's Brody. I'm happy to be here with you folks here today. If you wanted my advice for Friday the 13th, just treat it like any other day in the last 2 years. You need something to scare you today, just check the bank account. That always does it for me. It's Friday. We're getting set to slide down that dinosaur's tail. It's Yabba Dabba Do time. We're got a interesting show for you folks today. I'm happy to have you here. Please bring the coffee, bring the cup, bring yourself on over to Brodys. Let's check out the stock desk here this morning. We got some news articles, some things, and some AI generated magic cards for you folks to have a look at. Thanks all for watching. Uh, let's get into the show. Let's check out a look at some AI generate. Oh, and before we do, somebody's got a birthday coming up. So happy birthday to you, Michael Superbacker. Coming up tomorrow, Saturday. We got to do something uh, a little special for Michael here this morning. And we're going to take a look at some AI generated. Do you want to look at some AI generated Magic the Gathering cards? Sure, why not? We'll check the price of Hasbro stock and read a couple of news articles today, folks. I saw a Rudy video yesterday. Rudy's all over the air. I love it. Some good content. Check the audio. Check the audio. MTG Gaming Bob, welcome to the show. Good morning. Happy to have you here with us today. Let's see. We got Michael Superbacker in the house. Oh, we do.
It's your birthday today, Michael. It's your birthday today, Michael. Rock and roll and celebrate. Celebrate, we will. Lose control and you cut the cake. Cut that the cake. Night is yours. Destiny awaits. Oh, wait with so me. Share toast with your closest mates. It's your birthday today, Michael. It's your birthday today, Michael. Grab your goodie bags. Open your gifts. Blow out your candles. Michael!
Aw, happy birthday to you, Michael, coming up tomorrow. This is what your Friday mornings are like. Whoa, yeah, buddy. That's right. It's Friday. We're getting ready to slide down that dinosaur's tail. Thanks, everybody, for joining. Michael Superbacker's got a birthday coming up tomorrow. Yeah, we're celebrating. Hasbro stock. We've seen a Rudy video yesterday. There's all kinds of things to talk about. We got ourselves a cup of coffee. Thanks for joining life, uh, sharing it with me here today, folks. Interesting. The Hasbro stock price today says disclaimer. Interesting. Disclaimer. The Lion Tamer. All right, we can't get a look at that. It's a trading day today, isn't it? Maybe they shut her down for the weekend. I don't know. Uh Okay, so let's anybody want to take a look at some AI generated Magic the Gathering cards? Why not? Let's check this out before we run the stock desk. Thurk the Mulas. Thurk of Mulas. An instant card. Check out this card. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a creature card from it. That player chooses a zombies. I don't understand this card. It doesn't make much sense. We're gonna give this card a pass or a fail. It's so close. Like it's so close. I could see if it said um I could see if it said you choose a creature card, they discard it, and then like that player creates a zombie creature token. I don't know if we can give this one a passing grade. Anybody? Okay, no, sorry. Thurk of Mulas. That's gonna get no love. Crazy art here though. A bunch of zombies. It's almost a card. AI generated Magic the Gathering cards. Cool brains in the house. Happy birthday to you too, buddy. Uh, okay, Let's take a look at some AI generated Magic cards. How you doing, Ed? Nice to have you with us. It's Friday. We're just getting ready to run some stocks here. Little morning Magic stocks and Magic talks here with Brody. We're just looking at this card, the Heap Doll. This is a white card, a 0/2, a white and 3. Whenever a source you control deals damage to a player, that player loses the game. Is there any problems with this card? Do you guys see? I think that's for a 0/2. Whenever any source you control deal damage, uh, I guess in a Boros deck, a Boros burn deck, you just lava dart your opponent and win the game instantly. I don't know if we can give this card a passing grade. It's too it's too insane to print. Uh it's better than the Black Lotus. You're right. I don't know if we can give this one a passing grade. Let's keep rolling. Anything new? Check out Mountain. AI generated Mountain. Pretty good art. I'm okay with it. What do you guys think? The lands that they come out of the AI had a really nice island there yesterday. I don't mind it. Could proxy these up. Proxies being the talk. D&D players getting ready to walk away from Dungeons and Dragons. Brody doesn't play Dungeons and Dragons. Does anybody in the chat play Dungeons and Dragons? Look at this guy. Zombie warlock creature type. Gauntlet of the Mind. Is this really an is it card? Is it? Okay. Gauntlet of the Mind is a zombie warlock, a 2/2 creature. Cost you a red, a blue, and 1, and it's got flash. And sacrifice a creature, scry 1. Well, that doesn't seem too bad. I think we give this card a pass. All right. I'm going to give it a pass. Anybody see anything wrong with this card? This is AI generated Magic the Gathering cards. Gauntlet of the Mind. This one actually doesn't seem too bad. It seems a little underpowered for 3 mana. It could probably cost, well, it could probably cost 2, or if it had like another ability on it, like creature spells cost 1 less. Maybe I think we get better value out of Goblin Electromancer for this cost, but that's okay. Gauntlet of the Mind, mm, another. That's a first. That's a hit. That is definitely a hit. All right. So let's take a look at the stock desk here. We like it to see what they got for us today. Morning, folks. It's Brody. Thanks for hanging out with me. We did a little review on the Tarmogoyf yesterday, Modern Times, and like Snapcaster Mage. Now is maybe the time to pick up some modern staples. Maybe don't go and break the bank. We're waiting for the super high end sale. I want to see if we've got anything to peruse from late last year while we were on the break. I think we might have something interesting for you. That's right. Yearly winners and losers from last year. 2022's winners and losers. Let's take a look at that. Seems interesting. Okay, so this come out December 30th, the yearly winners for 2022, top winners and top losers, part 1 of 2 over at the stock desk. 2022 has been a busy year for Magic, especially in collectors. Markets flooded by Wizards of the Coast with new product. Isn't that the truth? And now what's going on with Dungeons and Dragons? They basically set off every Magic player in one way or another, caused a lot of turmoil in community, and now we're going uh, to print more products for 2023. There have been, among others, 4 main sets, each having their own Commander product. So it's like Commander the Gathering, somebody said. On Twitter the other day, I did see an article that said we're going to rename it. Several Universes Beyond sets, Dominaria Remastered, Infinity, and Secret Layers, plenty of new cards hit the market according to some calculations. Almost 15% of all card variations were printed in 2022. So out of all Magic cards, 15% of them were printed in 2022. Does that give you sort of a little bit of an idea on the amount of cards that were printed? And 25% of all commanders in existence were printed in 2022. Plenty of stuff to look back on, right? That's a lot. That's plenty of cards. Okay. So what does this mean? Ah, it means that as is our year-end tradition. Let's take a look at the winners and the losers of 2022 in several categories. I got it broken down here from the stock desk in a couple of categories, part 1 and 2. And we'll go over part 1 and 2 separately. Okay, so we got top 100 interests. The most important task in calculating any of these kinds of lists is using the correct methods to filter and exclude cards. Maybe you're missing some cards. Like, do you like tracking the prices of Magic cards? Is it too much? Let me do it for you. You can always stop by the channel. I'm checking these prices every day. So they got a list here, winners for the year, and there's a whole column here. I can put a link to this table in the comment section if you guys want to check it out on your own. That sounds. Boom. Top of the list, an Infinity card, Quick Fixter. This card. This is winners, eh? Quick Fixer went from $2.09 to $29.99. Wow. An Infinity card. Hmm. What else we got? Ledger Shredder, also the winner of the year. Big winningest card of the year. Most ha. Good morning, Mr. DJ Longhair in the house. How you doing today? Happy Friday the 13th, bud. Happy the Friday the 13th, DJ. Thanks for joining us over here. Uh Morning, Mr. DJ Longhair. Thanks for joining us. I got an interesting story about your package. And I know this is good. I guess that this is going to sound weird, but uh I have misplaced your package on the way to the post office. It's here somewhere, but on my Christmas holidays, I ended up heading to the post office a couple of times and meeting up with some folks uh to drop off some other swag, and in the packing up and moving around in the shuffle, I have misplaced your package. And if you're wondering why it has come in the mail, I know, I know, but I didn't want you to panic. Uh, I will get it out to you, including your shirts. So, it's okay. We can handle it. But a little update on your package. You're still should be receiving a package. I think I'm gonna turn this into a win. Brody's gonna turn it into a win, and here's how I'm gonna do it. I'm still unpacking some stuff, and when I do locate it, I'm gonna hold on to it for a bit. I got a couple more things to I'd like to throw in there, and I gotta write a letter for you and tuck some goodies in there for you too. So I'm gonna turn this into a plus. We're gonna turn it into a win because it's 2023, and the obstacle is the way. The obstacle is the path forward. Okay, I want to say thanks for you for joining us, but I did want to give you a little update. As we're checking the major winners here for 2022. The Ledger Shredder's second winningest card in the world of Magic, Fervent Charge from Apocalypse. Ooh, neat card. When a creature you control attacks, it gets +2/+2 until end of turn. I really like these cards from Apocalypse. This is an enchantment. Whenever a creature you control attacks, it gets +2/+2 until end of turn. That's really good. It's Mardu. It's Martitan art. It checks so many boxes. It's $8. I'd like to see a chart on this card. I really do. I don't know if it's reserve list. Look at this. Heck of a spike. Here's a card that sort of piques my interest. I do like it. Got some very, very crazy art on it. I gotta bring this up. Like, look at this guy is like fervently charging. Holy moly. Love it. Apocalypse, great set. Hellcarver Demon. Another demon? Check this out. 6/6. This one from Rise of the Eldrazi. It's up 850% for the year. Flying 6/6. Let's just have a sip of coffee. I'm going to build myself another coffee while we look at this Hellcarver Demon. Flying 6/6 Demon. Whenever Hellcarver Demon deals combat damage to a player, sacrifice all other permanents you control and discard your hand. What? Exile the top 6 cards of your library. You may cast any number of non-land cards this way without paying their mana cost. Whoa! What's going on here? Alec Cahoon's in the house joining us this morning. It's Friday. Good to have you with us. Thanks for taking me on your journey today, Alan. Where have you got me? Appreciate you for starting your day off here with the team. Mr. DJ Longhair, thanks for joining us. Hellcarver Demon, does anybody play this? But it sure went up in price over the year. Yeah, it's up from $1 to $99. And this card, I like it. Unlicensed Hearse. This is a really hot card, man. I do like this card. Open this and a Ledger Shredder in New Capenna. Uh, really thought this card instantly it can go into Legacy or Vintage even. It deals with graveyards. Like, you know how great that is to have a 2 mana artifact that is graveyard tech? Tap it to exile 2 target cards from a single graveyard. Power and toughness equal to the number of cards exiled with it. 2 to crew it. So it's a star. It's big, but it was one of the biggest winners of 2022. What else we got? Hollowed Moonlight. Alan Cahoon says, "Remember Hellcarver Demon being a thing? It was a card that got hot when you could donate the Hellcarver Demon to your opponent." Wow. Unlicensed Hearse and Hallowed Moonlight from Magic Origins. Cool. This card went up from 50 cents to $4.36 until end of turn if a creature would enter the battlefield and it wasn't cast, exile it instead. Great card for 2 mana. Seems like a modern sideboard staple if people are blinking stuff. Yeah, I guess this is a really useful card. Like the functionality. I like looking at this list. It gives us sort of an idea of the functionality and how that affects the price of these cards. Functionality makes them a little more valuable because of current metagame mechanics. I like it. So we're looking, and then we got Shard Phoenix and a few others. You know, these are interesting lists here. Any top losers here? This is the top. Holy smokes, we got a there's a boat and top losers. We should kind of take a little look here. Infinity cards making waves on the price charts here. First thing in 2022. These Infinity Leela, hospitality hostess, never even elf employee. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. You may cast common spells from the top of your library. Guests you control get +1/+1. Aw, this card lost money. It's down. I don't know where this. It was $54. Infinity cards. Oh my gosh. Okay, why not? Through the Griff Shop. Galaxy foil. Yell who wants a souvenir and announce the name of a non-land card in your graveyard. Each player in an ungame who can hear you may bid life. You start the bidding at 0. The high bidder loses life equal to the high bid. Then copy the card and may cast the copy without paying its mana cost. If you didn't win the bid, you gain life equal to the high bid and create that many treasure tokens. Well, design committee, I mean, you know how these folks who are on the design committee goes. Uh let's check it out. Are you sure you want to leave? I don't know. Why not? Let's leave. Let's go. Lem, comedic genius. uncards just don't do well aside from Saw in Half. Yeah, they don't do well, hey? Who's this? Blim, the comedic genius. When Blim, comedic genius, deals combat damage to a player, that player gains control of target permanent you control. Then each player loses life and discards cards equal to the number of permanents they control but don't own. This guy don't Blim donates stuff. Oh yeah. Okay, Hellcarver Demon with Blim. Ah, you gotcha. Cool. Mother says, I think the beginning people create inflated pricing to make a buck. Yeah, it seems like it. Like a new set comes out and like I love it when a new set comes out that I'm playing and I look at a card and go, "Man, this card's boss." And like nobody really pays mind to it and then it sort of when you kind of can pick them, right? And then it's not necessarily the cards that you think are going to be worth money that it turn out being worth anything after they rotate, right? Totally. Uh Hey Alan, we got to run movers and the shakers list here today. What are we gonna do? We did vintage the other day. What do you want to do? We got to run the movers and shakers list here. What do we got? We got the all list, standard, Phyrexia all will be one, modern, pioneer, legacy, vintage, pauper. What do you want to see here this morning? Pick a column. It's Friday. It's Friday the 13th. Let's thanks for joining in the fun. We're just doing a little bit of Magic the Gathering stocks and some Magic the Gathering talks. I wonder uh stonk stonks or not stonks. What are we gonna do? Pioneer. We want to look at some common cards. That's right. Some common cards. I like it. Okay, let's do the Pioneer list. Like how oh no, Pioneer or Pauper? Pauper. Okay, Pioneer. I thought you said Pauper. Dust my eyes. This got me all okay. Pioneer. Not Pauper. Pay attention, Brody. Pioneer. Resplendent Angel right at the top of the pile, up 6%. $1 or a $1.99. This Resplendent Angel, remember M19, 2 white and 1 for a 3/3 flyer at the beginning of each end step. If you gain 5 or more life this turn, create a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying and vigilance. Then for 6, till end of turn, Resplendent Angel gets +2/+2 and gains lifelink. So it can become a 5/5 for 6 more mana. That's a lot of mana. But it's this other life gaining part that really sort of puts it over the top, isn't it? $36 for a bunch of for 3/3. Let's have a look at the chart. Oh yeah, we got to go back to at least 2019 on this, don't we? Right? Wow. Kind of an interesting card. So Resplendent Angel from M 2019 down here just around a couple of bucks, 8 to 10. Took a tick up in price right around Strixhaven, 21, down to about the $20 level, and now it's like sitting right here at 36 bucks, eh? Stonks or not stonks? Are you seeing what you're seeing? Deck's running it. Selesnya Angels, of course, in Pioneer. All right, we're running the Pioneer list. Let's look at the Pioneer deck. This is the deck that gives this card a little bit of push. Time Capsule. Hey, happy to see you here this morning. We're talking about Selesnya Angels and Resplendent Angel. This is and Pioneer here with Alan Cahoon, Twiddler, and Ed a Dual Brain and Michael Superbacker. Michael Superbacker's having a birthday tomorrow, so we're kicking it off here on Friday. I hope you got your deck sleeved up. If you're heading to a friend's place for some Friday Night Magic, if you can't make it, bring a friend to Brodys. Could have look at maybe bring the Selesnya Angels deck. Kind of cool. We got Bishop of Wings, so life gain, right? Whenever an angel enters the battlefield that you control, gain 4. When an angel you control dies, you get a 1/1 spirit token. Giada, Font of Hope. Each other angel you control enters the battlefield with an additional 1/1 counter on it for each angel you already control. Question about this card. Actually, this came up just the other day. If an angel comes in and it's not getting a +1/+1 counter, does it get one? Like if you just cast Ye Old Angel and it's like not one that gets a +1/+1 counter. I think it does, right? If it was just like cast a Sarah Angel, does it enter with a +1/+1 counter with Giada? Gaming Bob, he'll know. Each other angel you control enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on it for each angel you already control. So if you got Giada and you play one other angel, I think you get a counter. It doesn't have to be something that is coming in with a counter. What else we got? Youthful Valkyrie. Is this like the most expensive card in the angel in the deck? Yeah, the Resplendent Angel. Holy smokes, hey? So like I like checking these price lists and like we were talking about earlier in the week, if you got extra copies of certain cards, like maybe you've got like I don't know, like it's worth checking the prices on the movers and the shakers just simply because like when something like the Resplendent Angel like maybe you opened a bunch of these in pre-release, right? Like Alan did. Now's maybe a good time to buy list it, right? $36. If someone's going to give you $36 for something out of that's a good price for that's beginning to be around where I would think about any extra copies maybe going to the chopping block. Check it out. Like $60 Carnage Tyrants. I was trading in Carnage Tyrants like when they were up there, right? And then like maybe this card is a good card to pick up. Maybe you it is. Days Undoing. In Pioneer. It's neat that this card actually sees some play. I like it. I was actually playing it in Warps and Wheels in Modern. Man, Brody's such a trashy modern player. Like, I just should play better decks. I really, 2023 resolution. Play better decks, Brody. Don't don't build such jank. But I do maybe Brody's just playing the wrong format. Maybe Brody needs to play Pioneer and run Days Undoing. That's where you run it. And I think you run it with Narset. It's a cool card. It's like the modern day Time Warp. No, modern day Time Twister. That's what it is. Same casting cost as Time Twister, right? Let's compare it to like its counterpart. And see, right? Doesn't like it. Uh See, this one's 1 blue and 2 as well. It's the same casting cost. This one says each player this is power 9 though, right? This is the $10,000 version. Yay. And then there's the Days Undoing. Each player shuffles their hand and graveyard into their library and draws 7 new cards. So like this guy here, the Days Undoing is for $8.91 is each player shuffles their hand and graveyard into their library, then draws 7 cards. If it's your turn and the turn, you exile all spells and abilities on the stack, including this card. It gets exiled. Discard your maximum hand size. Damage wears off this turn and until end of turn effects end. This is great in turns. If you can get this go off and you've got another turn on the stack, ending that turn is not such a bad thing. Exile all spells and abilities from the stack. That seems pretty cool. Blue Tinker is playing Days Undoing in Vintage. Of course it is. Legacy, Commander, Modern, Pioneer. This is where we want to be. Dimir Control. That's who's playing it in Pioneer. Okay, this is actually kind of interesting stock list. I like it because we're going to find a deck list for the cards on these lists here. It's kind of nice. Days Undoing is awesome if you can flash it. Holy smokes, right? Let's just take a look at that. What if you flash it with Teferi, right? You got Teferi, Little Teferi, Teferi Time Raveler. No, Teferi, Little Teferi. Little Teferi, right? Yeah, so you could give it flat. You could cast it at flash speed. Uh oh my gosh. That's some next level tech, right? The Days Undoing, then you can end the turn on your opponent's turn. How about that? That seems pretty darn good. It's also good with Narset. I'd like to see if these folks are playing Narset in this Dimir control deck. This is maybe this is the one. It's got Sinister Sabotage, Shieldred, Torrential Gearhulk. Nice. One Shieldred, one Torrential Gearhulk, one Cling to Dust, 3 Consider, 4 Fatal Push, 2 Thoughtseize, 3 Censor, 1 Drown and Lock, 1 Heartless Act, 2 Make Disappear, 3 Negate, 1 Power World Kill, 3 Sinister Sabotage, 1 Extinction Event, 2 Memory Dulge, 1 Ritual of Soot, 2 Dig Through Time, 2 Clearwater Pathways, 3 Down Catacomb, 3 Fable Passage, 2 Fetid Pools, 2 Field of Ruin, 1 Hall of the Storm Giants, Hive of the Eye Tyrant, 3 Island, 1 Ottawa Soaring City, 2 Swamp and 4 Watery Grave. Where are we seeing the Days Undoing? Could be in the side. No worries, no worries. It's okay. Days Undoing, second from the top. Circle of Dreams Druid. I like this. This is a card from Midnight Hunt. A card from Midnight Hunt, $6, up 10 points. Ah, it's got his cradle on a creature. Okay. 3 mana for this elf druid. Yeah, we tap it for 1 green for each creature you control. That's good. This is good in elves, right? I think how many elf decks is this gonna play? This is a darn good card if you're playing elves. What do we got? Lathril, the Blade of Elves. Oh, Chatterfang, of course, in Commander. Marwyn the Nurturer, Yisan the Wanderer Bard, Azuri Renegade Leader. I think we got to give this card a friggin' pass, man. This is a good card. I like it. Uh,
Buy low, sell high, that's my motto. I may just quit my job at the power plant and become a full-time stock market guy.
Circle of the Dreams Druid. Archangel of Tune. This card's a Pioneer card that's 28 bucks. Wow. Let's check it out. Archangel of Tune, fourth from the top, 28 bucks. Flying lifelink. Whenever you gain life, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. Whoa. Okay, this is definitely going to be an Angels, right? How freaking good is this card? Wow. I mean, yeah, I think you've got it in Commander all over the place. We don't have a Pioneer deck, but I'm thinking Archangel Attune's probably going to go in a deck with the Resplendent Angel. I don't see why not. Selesnya Angels. It's not even in there. Archangel of Tune. All right, I got to give this card a friggin' pass as well. That's a good card. 28 bucks. Is this one going to the trade bin? I would say Teferi Time Raveler, right? Yes, little Teferi with the Days Undoing. Let's check that out. Teferi. So we want to look at this one. So Days Undoing and Little Teferi. Check it out. So here's the tech of the day, right? Teferi Time Raveler costs 3. A blue, a white, and 1. His +1 is until end of turn you may cast sorceries as though they had flash. And each opponent can cast spells only anytime they could cast a sorcery. So this means you can play your sorceries on your opponent's turn at flash speed. And if you do it in a way where you're responding to your opponent trying to cast a permanent, they can't even counter it because they can only play at sorcery speed. So you +1 to Fairy. He goes to 5. You can play your sorceries at flash speed, and then you cast this Day's Undoing. And each player shuffles their graveyard, hand, and library, draws 7 cards, and then, well, it says if it's your turn, end the turn. So you don't get to end their turn. Unfortunately, it's not that good. But if you put it with Narset, it gets pretty good. Narset. Parter of Veils. We want the Parter of Veils. Each opponent can't draw more than 1 card each turn. So with like 3 mana spells, pretty good, right? And it's a wheel. So here's something that a competitive player told me once upon a time. The reason why Carnage Tyrant the reason why Carnage Tyrant isn't good. And I'm like, what? What does that have to do with Days Undoing and Teferi or an Arset? It's the 6 mana slot. That's what it is. It's like for 6 mana, if you're getting a Narset and a Days Undoing, that's 6 mana. So the reason Carnage Tyrant isn't good is because for 6 mana, it does nothing, right? It actually for 6 mana it dies. So anything in Magic that costs 6 mana, as a rule, to be good, like this is the 6 mana, check yourself, right? If it should win you one, if it wins you the game, that's great. Torrential Gearhulk costs 6 and it does something. It's like when it enters, you get to do this. Carnage Tyrant does nothing. So for 6 mana, it should like win you the game, depending on what you already have in play, or it could just win you the game outright, or it should do something. You should get a permanent, and something in the game should happen. Problem with Carnage Tyrant is it costs 6 mana, and it's just a creature with hexproof. It doesn't do anything. It's not like when Carnage Tyrant enters, you get nothing. It sits there, and then they have a whole turn to deal with it. If they have a wrath spell or a way to move it, that's no good. So like these two cards, the like the 2/3 drops, right? So that's how I check to see if a card is any good or not. I give on a six mana spell. Okay, so that's just using some base logic, right? So if you're a Timmy and you're looking at Magic cards and someone's like, "Hey, Timmy, I got this 6 mana uh Carnage, well maybe Carnage Tyrant or maybe an Avatar or something like that. I'll trade it for that 4 mana Jace, the Mind Sculptor you got there. I mean, this is way better. It's huge. Don't give it a check. Give it the sniff test. That that's a scratch and sniff test that we use for 6 mana. But for so when we're talking Days Undoing and Narset, that's 6 mana. So for 6 mana, we should something should happen. It should just about win us the game. And that's like 2/3 drops that fills the 6 mana spot. So these two together, like you get a planeswalker, you get 7 cards, your opponent gets 1, and you still get a planeswalker in play. That should just about win you the game on its own. And if it doesn't, it should just about put you there. I love it. That's two of my favorite cards. Coveted Jewel is 6 mana. I guess it's only cheated in. Well, like Murray Cooper. Hey, how you doing, buddy? Coveted Jewel. Well, it's 6 mana, right? I like if you're playing vintage, you cast in it, right? If you can cast it, but what happens? Six, that's totally right. That's a great friggin' comment, Murray. Coveted Jewel. Let's take a look at Coveted Jewel. So, like, this is a 6 mana card. Give us a 6 mana card, anybody, and I'll tell you if it's good or not, right? Based on that. This card, I think it's good. I cast it in, it's played in Vintage, so in Paradoxical Outcome. So you're using Grim Monolith and other mana rocks to cast it. Mishra's Workshop is actually like the easiest way to cast this. Like 2 workshops, you can cast it on turn 2. It's okay that way. But when it enters the battlefield, draw 3 cards. 6 mana, something happens, and you get something. This is a good card. Like totally, I'm giving the Coveted Jewel a friggin' pass on the sniff test. The 6 mana sniff test, right? That's just the way that's the way I see it. Somebody told me that anyway. A buddy of mine was telling when we were discussing Carnage Tyrant and why it was like so expensive. And he says, I don't understand why it's so much money. It's not even good. And I'm like, what are you talking about? It's amazing. Richie Dubs in the house. Richie Dubs, good morning, Richie Dubs. The pipes are calling. It's Friday. It's the 13th. It's the day you want to just keep those black cats away from your. Get out of here. No more black cats. No black cats. Keep away from ladders, broken mirrors, and all that stuff. If you want something to scare you on Friday the 13th, just take a look at the bank account. And if you ask me, just treat it like any other day in the last 2 years. The Ozlith. I love this card. The Ozlith is seeing a tick up in price. It's $25 for the Ozlith from Ikoria. Plus 2%. Isn't it Ikoria? It's up 2%. Ikoria, Lair of the Behemoths. I love this card. The 1 mana. 1 mana, you get the Ozlith. It's $24.94. This is something you could hit. You could crack this out of an Ikoria pack. You could. You got an orange cat. Oh, yeah. That's awesome, Alan. Yeah. Orange cats. We're okay. Whenever a creature you control leaves the battlefield, if it had counters on it, put those counters on the Ozlith. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if the Ozlith has counters on it, you may move all counters from the Ozlith onto target creature. Wow. Oh, this card is just so fun. There's there's so many ways to use this. Since it's come out, it's been a friendly. People love it. Uh I like the Ozlith. Anybody else playing it? I need to throw a I think where's my pen and paper? Brody's epic fail here. Oh, I'm never gonna get to do this full time unless I can get better. I gotta grab a notepad here and I'm gonna start writing stuff down because like there was something and I guess I'll replay the stream, but like I always get these aha moments when you guys give me comments in the comment section, and I'm like, oh, and I should write that down. But the Ozlith is a card I got to put in my Saprolings deck, and then I got to change out my commander in my Saprolings deck for the Selesnya commander that we covered this week that Bob brought up, because that's like a way better commander. Then I can put Slimefoot into the deck, and he'll be like my second secret commander because I've got the Tender Shoot Dryad in there. That's like your secret commander for that deck. But this card, the Ozlith, because of the 1/1 counters on it, I gotta throw a copy of the Ozlith in the deck. Like, what am I doing? I'm pretty sure I opened it. This thing's gonna see friggin' I know it's on the Pioneer list, Alan, but holy smokes, this is a great card. It's also played in Modern Hardened Scales. Maybe that's why that Modern will push anything, right? If it's played in Modern, it's good. How many of them are we playing? Hardened Scales, Artifacts. No, it's not even on this deck list, but it is here. Hey, good morning, Coach. That's okay. We put the first line string, the first string of juniors out. They're up 3-1. It's we're getting into the third quarter of the show. It's 21 minutes past the hour. I'll be on just past the halfway past the hour here this morning. I'd like to thank all you folks for joining me. We're talking about the Ozlith, a little Magic the Gathering talks, and some Magic the Gathering stocks. Brody's, write this down, Brody. The Ozlith like 6 mana is worth money. Give me a 6 mana card, Coach, and I'll tell you if it's good or not. We're doing the 6 mana sniff test on giving it Brody's 6 mana sniff test on any card you want to tell me. I'll tell you if it's good or not. And we're running the Pioneer list here for you folks today. Number 6 off the top, Breeding Pool, fetch lands, right? Those earnings to come out, and like we're waiting for the super high end sale. That's what we're doing. Like a tiger or a lion in the savannah, ready to pounce. We're waiting for those reserve list cards to just drift down in price, and we're checking the prices of Pioneer cards on the hot list. Gate Crash, original, beautiful breeding pool. I think I like this art the most. Great Henge, 6 mana. Is that good? Ooh, let's take a look. 21 bucks for a breeding pool. This guy, yeah, I mean, with the reprint of Fetch Lands, I think the $20 mark is sort of like the target. Flooded Strand right now is doing some amazing things. Flooded Strand. Is it any good? Flooded Strand. Zendikar. Onslaught. Where's the one for, I guess, yeah. Okay, well, let's check it out. Great Henge. Does it do something? Uh, it's the Great Henge, isn't it, Brody? Okay, let's go with the foil extended art. This one. So this one, okay, Great Henge is 9. It's a lot. It's a lot. It really is. It's a lot. Okay, so give me a 6 mana spell. We're talking about the 6 mana sniff test to tell you if a card's good or not. Um, this card's so good, and there's like that that rot beast, right? That this is a card that like goes with that rot beast. That there's a new 7, like a 7 drop out there. When it comes into play, your opponents get 2/3/3s, and then then you can cast the Great Henge like really easily on turn 3 or 4. What's that rot beast that's a 7/7? It's like this. It's 1 black at 2. Can't remember the name of it. Vorinclex. I almost spit my coffee out, coach. It's just, Vorinclex. Okay, one more. Vorinclex. Monstrous Raider, you want the showcase Vorinclex? Okay. 6 mana. Travel haste. If you would put 1 or more counters on a permanent player, put twice that many counters on each of those kinds. Permanent on player instead. If an opponent would, I would. Okay, according to the 6 mana sniff test, this card is not good. Okay, this card is not good. Also, Wormcoil Engine, according to that sniff Brodys 6 mana sniff test, it's also not good. Wormcoil also not good. Yeah. So now does that apply to? Yeah, that's a tough, eh? Yeah, it's tough to have a card be like this card's almost good, but I guess by the logic we're applying here, this card is not good. Trample Haste. Actually, okay, it's actually good because it can attack. Okay? It can attack. It can do some but it's not good. Nothing happens, right? So it's only good if something happens. This card is situational. If you can activate it, the turn that it comes into play, then it's good. If you can't, then it's not good. If it comes into play and nothing happens, it's not good. So according to the rule, this card on its own is only good if you can attack with it and hit. So yeah, it's I guess not good. Sorry, Vorinclex, you're not good enough. For the 6 mana sniff test. All right. What else? We're gonna check Wormcoil Engine. So Wormcoil Engine, like this one here, 6 mana. Is it? Yeah. See, Vorinclex Monstrous Raider is situationally good. Totally right. It's only good if you can swing with it and hit. But if you pay 6 and you get a Vorinclex and nothing happens, it's not good. It's nothing. It's not good. So according to the same logic, this card, Wormcoil Engine, for 6 mana, you get a Death Touch lifelink. When it enters the battle, or when it dies, you get a 3/3 worm. That's Death Touch and a 3/3 with lifelink. According to the 6 mana sniff test, this card is not good. It's only good if you it's even worse than Vorinclex. Shuts down counter decks. An opponent will put a counter on a permanent they control, but half that many counters. I still say I personally, do I like the card? I still like it. I don't mean I mean, it doesn't mean I don't like it. It's just how good is it, right? If I'm in a bind and I don't, it's really hard to say that Vorinclex card is going to get you out of a situation. Like rather than like a Gear Hulk, right? A Torrential Gear Hulk. Torrential Gear Hulk will change things. It'll come in, flash in, you'll get a 5/6, and then you get to cast something happens. You could cast a wipe spell. You could cast anything from your graveyard. Something happens. Breeding Pool. What's this card? Asika, God of the Tree. A 1/4 Vigilance. Oh, you can play it on the other side? Let's check this card out. This card from Kaldheim. I like Kaldheim. You know, like I like Kaldheim. The thing I didn't like about Kaldheim is like we didn't get to spend enough time on Kaldheim until we went to like New Capenna, like the next place on the list. We just so many sets printed. Like Kaldheim would have been great for a spell of 3 months, and then it could have like stayed in the format. But that's okay. Azika God of the Tree costs you it's a $20, right? This is a great card from Kaldheim. It's actually like friggin' defied the odds. Like, look at this card, right? East to west for like a bunch of months, all the way up until 2022 October, and this printing of this. Another one of the 52 sets that Wizards gave us this year, Dominaria Master to DMU. Yeah, this card has seen some long-term life cycle, not to be expected out of a card from Kaldheim, but like why not? Legendary creature god, vigilance for a 1/4. She's got a big butt. She can block everything. Kill Thalia, right? Tap to add 1 mana of any color. Other legendary creatures you control have vigilance and tap for a mana of any color. What a great card. Flip it over. Or you could play it like this, like the Prismatic Bridge at the beginning of upkeep. At the beginning of your upkeep, reveal cards from the top of your library. Until you reveal a creature or planeswalker card, put that card onto the battlefield and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Starnheim waits. Creature card or planeswalker put it into the battlefield. This is straight into the battlefield? Wow. Okay, the Prismatic Bridge is really freaking good, and if you can play it with like the Lotus that gives you like 1 mana of any color, or you can play it with the like the morph more what's that polymorph guy, Morophon, the Boundless makes your stiff cost 1 less. More this is insane, right? Spells of the chosen type cast this much less to cast, right? Yeah, with the Morophon, that seems way good. Nobody knows what the story was on Kaldheim. Yeah, I would have liked to spend like 3 months there. And on Wananoia. I like this. Azika, God of the Tree for $20. What a great card. Fantastic art on it. Like, look at the. This is a cool card. I really got to say. It's neat. Where are decks playing it? Who's playing it where? Commander, mono green, or is it like. No, it's played in the Morophon deck, right? Totally. You play it in the Morophon deck. It's awesome. Then you get to play the bridge for nothing. Oh my gosh. That's such a cool card. No wonder it's $20. I think it's probably going to keep going. You know, cool card on the Pioneer list. Wow. You never know what you're going to find on the Pioneer list, hey? I got to give this card a friggin' passing grade. Like, this card's great. Azika, the God of the Tree. All right, some triomes. All the triomes in general. $13 for a Savai triome. The Mardu triome. Ikoria Behemoth, another great card from Ikoria. Like we could have. Yeah, totally. Changeling, Morophon. Ah, I love it. But that's the crazy thing. Like what a great card. Savai Triome, I really could have spent another. We could have gone 3 months on Kaldheim and 3 months on Ikoria without any other set releases, and it would have been just fine. But here we are. The Brothers' War has happened, and we're already on a Dominaria Remastered, and whatever the bleh else. There's like here's one for you. 2023. Let's savor the moment, right? There's no savoring the moment. There's no like hanging out in Ikoria and all like these triomes, right? Like more drafts, more packs cracked, more triomes. $13. Some triomes. What's the entry price for these triomes? Right? Like let's take a look at the chart. Triomes holding steady. For how long? Who knows? Till we see a reprint on triomes. When are we getting a reprint on triomes? Somebody tell me in the comment section below. Ed, I know you know. Coach, when do you think we're going to get a reprint on Triomes or some new Triomes? Can we give the Sarenth Great Worm a sniff? Yes. Let's do it. Let's check it out. What Brody wants to know when we're getting more Triomes because Brody needs more Triomes. Like I guess I should get some Ikoria. Sarenth, the Great Worm, Brothers War Extended Art Foil, because that's the one you need. 6 mana. Oh, this card's not good. I regret to inform you. I'm sorry. This card's not good. It's only good on turn 6 or 7. It's only good if you have a Souza Lost but Seeking and a way to put a second land into play. Then it's good. If you can't trigger it, it's not good. If it's turn 6 and you're like land Great Worm, it's not good. If you ramp into it and you're like Great Worm land for turn, then it's good. That's the only way it's good. So unfortunately, this card's not doesn't meet the sniff test. Sorry. Smell the worm. Let me get it there and check. The Murray's got to go. Safe adventures out there today. Thanks for sharing your time with me here in the morning. We're checking a few other cards. Wishing Murray safe adventures out in the world today, wherever that may take you. I appreciate you for stopping in, and we'll talk to you soon. Power Stones are only for artifacts, so Gruul artifacts. Gruul artifacts, yeah. That's going to be tough. Gruul artifacts. Let's check it out. Varagoth, Blood Sky Sire, $6. Demon Rogue, Boast, Death Touch for 2/3, 1 black and 2. Post them up for 1 black and 1. Target player search their library for a card, then shuffle their library and put that card on top of it. So it's Vamp Tutor on there. Activate this only once each turn. Soy's Commander in Kaldheim. Kaldheim, yeah, this is going to be a card. Yeah. Commander. We bring Varath over. Varath the Bloodsky. Varagoth. Yep, with all of these cards, no wonder. It's $6. Really great card. Varagoth, Bloodsire. $6. And Sarkhan the Unbroken. Let's check them out. $22, up 2%. Maria is a Gruul artifact card, too, right? Maria? I'm gonna have to check that. Maria. Maria, how we spell it? Maria. Oh, Maria's Outrider? Maria's Scholar of Antiquity? Elf Artificer. Tap an unfact non-token artifact. Add green. Tap 2 untap non-token artifacts you control. Exile the top card of your library. You may play it this turn. It's got to be a non-token. Well, that's too bad. But Gruul artifacts, I guess, is like there's a push for it. I don't know how good it's gonna be just yet, but maybe there's a way to do it. Doesn't seem that interesting to me. I don't know why artifact decks usually typically to me need to be blue, just because of the Tillarian Academy, but we'll see. Sarkhan the Unbroken, legendary planeswalker from Dragons. $20 for Sarkhan. He's a hit. Another man chest card. Let's check it out. Draw a card, then add a mana of any color. What? Okay, so this guy's 5. Okay, so for 5 mana, you get a Sarkhan that stays in play, and he does something. Okay, +1, draw a card, then add a mana of any color. -2, get a dragon at 4/4 with flying. -8, search for any number of dragons and put them onto the battlefield and shuffle. Any number of dragon creature cards. This card is insane. Okay. All commander dragons all the time? I think so. It's gotta be. Like, how could it not be? I've got to give this card a passing grade. You know what that means. I like it. How you folks doing today? Morning, everybody, and thanks for joining the show. This is Brody Alfonso, and you know I gotta go. It's Friday the 13th. Thanks for hanging out with me. Safe adventures today, and it's Friday the 13th. Everybody for joining, I really appreciate you. DJ Longhair, Mr. Dual Brain, the Savannah Lion for tuning in, Murray Cooper, Richie Dubs, and Alan Cohoon. All of the fans, the friends, and those Freetrons who love the game of Magic the Gathering as much as we do. Thanks, everybody. And don't forget to give a special happy birthday to my man, Mr. Michael Superbacker. Thanks a ton for having my back and joining us on the show today. Happy birthday, Saturday, for Michael Superbacker. I really appreciate you for joining us here. Twiddlers in the house. We'll talk to you again real soon. Enjoy the weekend. It's Friday. It's Yabba Dabba Do time. Hit the buzzer as you're going out the door. Get your deck shuffled up. Get your sleeves ready to go. Head on over to a friend's place for Friday night. And if you can't make it there, bring a friend to Brodys. Look forward to seeing you folks again on the live stream. Morning Magic Stocks and Magic Talks. It's been an awesome week. We get to first week back of the new year. We get to end it on Friday the 13th. We'll be here again on Monday, 5:15 Mountain Time, 7:15 Pacific.
Buy low, sell high, that's my motto. I may just quit my job at the power plant and become a full-time stock market guy. Buy low, sell high, that's my motto. Buy low, sell high, that's my motto. I may just quit my job at the power plant and become a full-time stock market guy.